sweet souls, welcome back to my channel. Today we're unboxing the Awareness Deck Cards and Guidebook by Anthony De Mello. It's 108 cards for reflection and inspiration. It just comes wrapped up like this. Yeah, but this is the deck. It's actually a really chunky deck. Like, it's big. It's an awareness deck, and it's also by Beyond Words Publishing. They actually sent me this deck, so thank you so much to them. It retails for $22 US and $30 Canadian, and very cool. Really big, so I'm excited to get into it. But yeah, let's read. Oh, there he is. Yeah, let's get in and read. It's 108 cards and 8-page guidebook. I guess the cards have meanings on them, but yeah, well, let's get in and see. What are you aware of? You control. What are you unaware of? Controls you. Offering profound insights and aiming to inspire, enlighten, and transform. These 108 grace-filled cards feature poignant quotes from the teachings of Anthony De Mello, one of the 20th century's most revered spiritual masters. Perfect for daily inspiration and inner reflections, you'll experience a shift in perspective and be reminded that within you lies all you need for happiness and fulfillment. By engaging with these cards every day, or even just when you need a moment of mindfulness, you'll start perceiving life, people, and situations through a new lens, uncovering previously unseen truth. Very cool. And here's a bit about Anthony De Mello. Anthony De Mello was a Jesuit priest born in Bombay, India. Whoa. Now Mumbai. In 1931, he is regarded as one of the foremost spiritual teachers of the 20th century, respected widely for his groundbreaking and enduring work that integrates Western and Eastern spirituality. Very cool. Oh, and there's more on his website, or whoever, I guess, Beyond Words or whoever's running it. Very cool. But yeah, it's exciting to know more. I don't know anything about Anthony De Mello, but spiritual teachings, very cool. I'm excited to get into it. Nice blue contrasting colors here. Yeah, I guess we'll get into this. Should we get into it now? Maybe, or get into it towards the end. I usually do it towards the end, so we'll go through the cards and then we'll check this out. But I feel like it's so short that we should just get into it now. Maybe we'll switch it up and we'll just get into it now because it's a little short. But here is the guidebook or accompanying book, Beyond Words Publishing. All the information here. If you can, hopefully you can see that. I guess a little bit more about Anthony De Mello, Tony. Very cool. Oh, wow, studied psychotherapy. Love that. Carl Rogers. Oh, love to see it. About this deck, that's really cool. I'll just leave this here and pause if you want to read it. I think that's really interesting. I love to learn more about psychology and things like that. How do you use the deck? Yeah, how do we use this deck? The entire deck, one card at a time. And let's see, keep it in front of you. Ooh, oh, and his book. Okay, if you want to pause and read that here. And then, yeah, it's just a little bit more. Oh, all the books that he's written. Yeah, that's cool. A lot of books in his lifetime, huh? Really interesting. But yeah, super short book, just accompanying just more about what the deck is and just some more information. So that's really cool. And neat. Everything is in here and it's chunky. Oh my gosh. Look how big that is. It's like, whoa, right? It's just all blue in here. And let's take a look. It comes with one of these. Ooh, it comes with one of these. These are also nice glossy cards. I like that. Yeah, there's probably no way I could shuffle this. Maybe this way. You could probably shuffle it this way if you wanted to. But yeah, let's just get in. See what the cards are like. I like this design. It's very simple, but like nice and, calming. They are glossy cards. I just unboxed the Happy Bedtimes Monthers card deck. So the card deck is similar to that, or if you have like the Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle cards like that. I can't remember Other decks, similar, but you can definitely bend these for sure. I'd be so interested to see how you would reshuffle these. But yeah, the cards are good. They're good quality cards. You can definitely, they're very flexible. They're very nice. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how you'd shuffle these. But yeah, let's just get in. They're glossy, very nice. A little bit bigger than standard Oracle, I would say. Just a tad bit. Just a little bit. But yeah, let's get in. Ooh, okay, maybe I have it flipped the wrong way. Yes, I do. There we go. Okay, we're getting through it. So it is just some cards here. So let's take a look. What does it say? It says each time you are in the presence of a person, any person, or with nature, or with any particular situation, you have all sorts of reactions, positive and negative. Study those reactions. Observe what exactly they are and where they come from, without any sermonizing or guilt, or even any desire, much less effort to change them. This is all that one needs for holiness to arise. That's interesting. I do wish there was like a picture or something, like some kind of design. It's very open. I feel like you really need like a journal with this and just take your time with it. Really nice, thought-provoking. I will say the card a little chipped here. Smidge, just a little bit. They are really big cards. It's nice. I don't know if I'm going to read all these. I'll pause this here. We'll read some of them, but I'll let you take a look because this is some great information. I feel like, right? Maybe we'll read a couple at a time. I'll show you a couple and we'll read a couple. Just because I feel like if I read them all, there are 108 cards, but it says one of the signs of maturity is when you no longer blame anyone. You don't blame others, you don't blame yourself. You see what's wrong and you set about remedying it. Wise words. Yeah. I would say, I do think, like, I'm all about the color, so I would like some color, but I'm not mad at it because it's kind of like a blue. Like a blue theme going on here. I think it's really open. It gives you a lot to think about too. It's just like thought-provoking as well. Really nice. Now, let's see. It says take on activities that you can do with your whole being. Activities that you love, that you so love to do while you're engaged in them. Success, recognition, and approval simply do not mean a thing to you. I feel like these are good reminders too. Just like if you need it one day, you're just like, yeah, What does it say? The most liberating, wonderful thing in the world is when you openly admit you're an ass. It's wonderful. When people tell me you're wrong, I say, what can you expect of an ass? Oh, wow, that's so funny. But it's like really nice open-mindedness. So shout out to Anthony. Open-mindedness. Yeah, and I really like that, psychotherapy teachings. I don't know if they studied Anthony. They studied that, but I think this is really nice, like reminders and just kind of taking it for journaling. But yeah, I would like the colors, but I feel like it's great wisdom to have, all in card form too. And so much. Should we read this? You are full of self-intolerance, which only grows with every effort that you make to change yourself. Thus, any change you achieve is inevitably accompanied by inner conflict. Now, suppose you stopped all efforts to change yourself and ended all self-dissatisfaction. Would you then be doomed to passively accept everything in and around you? There is another choice besides a laborious, self-pushing, or stagnant acceptance. It is the way of self-understanding, which is far from easy, because to understand what you are requires complete freedom from all desire to change what you are into something else. Wow. So much wisdom, right? Wow. That's a lot. That's like someone hitting you with like a nugget. Just so much wisdom. Wow. That is amazing. I definitely think this would be really helpful for people, like any day, or just going one by one, like from the beginning of the deck, just to go through it. I definitely think it's super helpful too, Yeah, especially if you like need to hear something or like it's the wisdom and you're like, wow, I really needed that today. I think, wow, I think that's really good. Yeah. This is very, just kind of skimming them too. Yeah, again, if I read them all, we'd be here all day, but let's see. Look into the very real possibility that the reason why other people's defects annoy you is that you have them yourself, but you have repressed them, so you are projecting them unconsciously onto other people. This is almost always true, but hardly anyone recognizes it. Whoa, like looking in the mirror, right? Wow. It's your words. Yeah, I really think just imagery would have really helped, especially if you are a visual kind of person. I think just the imagery would have helped a lot. Because I definitely like to see things as, I like to see it visually as well as like learn about it. Yeah. And also, I guess these are just different like teachings or sayings that Anthony has talked about or have, written about. I was going to say like if it was from a book, it'd be nice to have like a page number or something, but the book wasn't like a guidebook. It was just more like information. So yeah, I think that's really cool. Hopefully you're getting a lot of nuggets. This is like a very different deck, like for me as well, because I usually there are like pictures and a guidebook and with more explanations of prompts, but this is more like wisdom, almost like a affirmation, but it's more, again, this is an awareness deck, so it is definitely a different concept, but it's really nice as well. Yeah, it's a lot to take in, especially when you're, reading it all. It's a lot to take in, but let's see. So think of when you were a child and you clung to something so tenaciously that you did not want to give it up. You thought you would not be able to live without it. Think of some of the things that you liked when you were a child, or that you detested or hated, or some of the things that you feared. How many of those fears and likes and dislikes persist still today? What happened to them? They passed away, did they not? Whoa, true. Again, they're really hitting all the things. Wow. I do think like in the guidebook, it would be nice to have like an accompanying, just like a prompt or an accompanying like an affirmation, because this is like a lot of nice wisdom. Or maybe like a picture, and then, this could have been in there too. Just because it's such great information, just like a teaching or a writing or saying. I think that's really nice. And it's like a lot too. It's not just a short amount. It's like a lot. And it really does like make you think as well, right? Like think of the numberless persons and things that so excited you in the past. What happened? Yeah, what happened? In every single instance, they ended up causing you suffering or boredom. Did they not? It is absolutely essential that you understand this, because until you do, there is no question of you ever finding the kingdom of joy. I'm curious. Is it just like a kingdom of joy? Is it just your own happiness? Like finding the joy of life, So interesting teachings there, or wisdom, Interesting to see. And I do think like taking the moment to like pause and kind of think about that, especially if you're in a certain kind of mindset, I think it would really help. Like this one just talked about attachment. This one also has a little bit of attachment. And then the other one was talking about like fear. There's some inner child work as well. So I definitely think, heavy on like, are you holding things in is what I've noticed from the cards, right? Yeah. Let's see, it says, look around and see if you can find a single genuinely happy person, someone who is fearless and free from insecurities, anxieties, tensions, and worries. You would be lucky if you found one in the 100,000s. This should lead you to a suspicious of the programming and the beliefs that you all hold in common. Yeah, I do think it would be interesting to have some information just in the book, in a book, or like a little, mini guidebook. Yeah, because some of it could be like kind of explained more to help you. I feel like that's something. But it's also kind of like, these things are like teachings or sayings. It's kind of like having somebody tell you them, like either like a therapist or your friend. If you're having a conversation, I feel like it really is helpful that way. Just observe yourself over the course of a day or a week and think of how many actions and activities you engage in that are uncontaminated by the desire for attention, approval, fame, popularity, success, or power. Ooh, very interesting. So there are different types of like thoughts and works, teachings, writings. I'm not sure which one to pick, but there is a lot of wisdom for like different avenues and thoughts of life. I feel like that is. A lot of great things happening in the deck. Yeah. Oh, it's a little messy printing here, but yeah, it says you stupidly squander so much energy trying to rearrange the world, harboring the illusion that it is going to make you happy. What makes you happy or unhappy is not the world and the people around you, but the thinking in your head. Might as well search for an eagle's nest on the bed of an ocean. A search for happiness in the world outside you will just be as successful. Ooh, interesting words. Search for happiness in the world outside you will be just as successful. Things, food for thought. I guess that's kind of what it feels like, food for thought, and also just a little bit more like thought-provoking, like it makes you think again. It makes you think, it really does. And oh yeah, some of the printings do, I don't know, some of them recently have been getting these little splotches here. It's just kind of be a printing thing. They do have splotches. For the most part, they're very clear. Again, the white, probably white on white, I don't know. Yeah, I do think like any, like doodles, anything, just a little imagery would be nice. It says, do you want to change the world? How about beginning with yourself? How about transforming yourself first? But how do you achieve transformation though? Unseizing self-observation. Yeah, like this would be really nice, like just like with a blurb more to like get you through, I guess. Oh, Chinese sage. This is interesting. Very cool. I like that when they have like more, I guess, not more culture, but just more about like different epics, myths kind of things. I like those kinds of things. Ooh, eternity is right now. It is a little scuffed in some of the places. That's why I'm like, the white's probably not a great choice. But like cards like these, they're very full, right? Yeah. Notice the qualitative difference between the worldly feeling and the soul feeling by recalling how you felt when you succeeded or won. Now contrast that with how you felt when you really enjoyed the job you were doing, fully absorbed in it, functioning at your very best. Ooh, hitting some strings from home. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, again, I do think a little bit of, symbolism would really hit with this, eagle in a cage, butterfly, caterpillar, metamorphosis. It just looks so nice. But yeah, I think it was a missed opportunity, but again, I think it's a great, deck to just pull out and just think, one day it's like, let's suppose the rain washes out a picnic. Who is feeling negative, the rain or you? What's causing the negative feeling, the rain or your reaction? Again, food for thought, or things like thought-provoking, things to keep in mind, huh? Really interesting. Ooh. If you want to pause and read that. Yeah. It's an interesting deck for sure. If you've seen decks like these, or I don't know if Beyond Words has other decks like these, especially Anthony De Mello. I don't know if it's his first, like whoever created it's their first deck or not. But they have a lot of books, so I'm assuming they have a lot of works as well. Let's see. Understand that negative feelings are in you, not in reality. Reality is all right. Reality is not problematic. Problems exist only in the human mind. Yeah, then, makes sense. But then I want a little bit more, I just want like a little bit more like to help you, like as the reader, and as like if you're shuffling this or you journal about it, it could be more like intuitive, or it could be more like just guiding you, I guess, just more focused guidance. I feel like that's what I'd really love to see. Real change will come when it is brought about not by your ego, but by reality. So this one, there is a little bit of a shift here. Like we kind of went through a bit, and now we're talking more about like reality, maybe ego. There was some inner child work before. So there is some bits of some change. There are different kind of things to unpack. You could change everything in yourself you think needs changing, from your looks to your personality, your career and bank account, and still be unhappy. Deep down, you know this is true, but still you waste your effort trying to get what you know cannot make you happy. Ooh, were interesting words. Some of this really like would hit you, right? Like you really feel it in your gut, and like, ooh. Spirituality is about unlearning almost everything you've been taught. Interesting. I feel like it's more like learning new information, not learning what's been untaught. Like, unlearning, but more so just accompanying learning, and kind of, you can be more flexible with your views. I feel like that's really interesting, Like, you don't have to agree with everything, but also you can just be mindful of what is there and what's true for you and what's not, right? You are full of self-intolerance, which only grows with every effort that you make to change yourself. Now, suppose you stopped all the efforts to change yourself and ended all self-dissatisfaction. Would you then be doomed to passively accept everything in you and around you? There is another choice besides a laborious self-pushing or a stagnant acceptance. It is the way of self-understanding, which is far from easy, because to understand what you are requires complete freedom from all desire to change what you are into something else. Very true. Well, I think so, at least. I think that's, I think change, change, not that it's inevitable, but I feel like if you want to grow, or like just be a little bit more flexible in different aspects or different thoughts. Change helps bring in new thoughts and like new learning. I think that is, for the most part, people understand that. But if you're having trouble with it, it might be like something that's kind of like an aha moment for you. Just kind of like, oh, it clicks. Sometimes you read something, whether it's like this or like from someone else, and you're like, it clicks. Yeah, we say I refuse to be happy until my neurosis goes away. I have good news for you. You could be happy right now with the neurosis. That's very true. Like people say, like, I'll be happy when I'm rich, or I'll be happy when I have this, right? But you can be happy now. It's just, it's all the mindset. It's all the change in your thoughts and just kind of like what you do, like your routine and things like that. It's all about how you think about it. We're living in crazy ideas about love, about relationships, about happiness, about joy, about everything. The whole world is crazy. The only reason we're not all locked up in an institution is that there are so many of us. Oh, wow, that's interesting. That's so true. There's so many thoughts and ideas and perspectives. Like, sometimes you think, am I going bonkers? But there's just so many different, there's so many different people, different personalities, and different ways of thinking, and different walks of life, right? And you're doing okay. You're going the way you're going. And I think, as long as you're open to like improving yourself and just learning and just, going by your day, I feel like that is good. It says, wake up, put on a new mind, take on a new way of looking at things, for the kingdom is here. It's a rare spiritual seeker who takes that seriously. I'm wondering what this kingdom is. I'm not sure. Maybe they explain it in the information book, but I didn't look too closely at that. So yeah, if you want to pause and read that, you should before you read any of these to find that out. Because I don't know, it was mentioned a bit. The kingdom of something. Maybe it's like the key to your life, you know? The key to the universe, which is all inside of you. Life is a banquet, and tragedy is that people are starving to death. Whoa. Very, very true around the world and everything. Ooh, this one's about sleep. Do you want a sign that you're asleep? Here it is, you're suffering. If you're suffering, you're asleep. Suffering is a sign that you're out of touch with the truth. Suffering is given to you that you might open your eyes to the truth, that you might understand that there is falsehood somewhere. Just as physical pain is given to you, so you will understand that there is a disease or illness somewhere. That's interesting. Kind of taking a peek into suffering. Interesting. And also, again, like, you don't have to agree with it, but just be open-minded about it, right? Like, you can also have a different thought about it and maybe journal about that. It'd be good to, you know, contrast. Like, this was a saying, and maybe you have some different thoughts about it and journal it and kind of open up and see where your mindset and your growth kind of go from there, right? Your thoughts. But yeah, this is the awareness deck. It was a long deck. It's huge. 108 cards and a little information booklet. I'll see if I can shuffle it this way. I don't know if I can. It's a little big. Like, it's just not that it's big, but that it's just a lot of cards. But you can definitely shuffle it this way, and then I'll try it the other way. Let's see. Yeah, you don't need a number or anything. You could definitely do it this way too, but I think it's just better to just pick it up or split the deck if you want. Just kind of take, maybe like split it up and take a card from here and a card from there and just kind of go from there, you know, from that. But yeah, this is the awareness deck. There isn't much to it, but a lot of jam-packed wisdom, I would say. Really interesting thoughts too. I think it really does help, especially, I didn't read them all. And maybe you did, but I didn't read them all. But I think there's a lot of different aspects of life that are shown, like, that are talked about, and the different wisdoms and the teaching, and also just like the spirituality and opening up your mind. I think that's really cool. Like, look at all, like, laid out, like how different it is. I think that's, oh, I can't even see this that much, but you know how different it is? I think that's interesting, right? And yeah, again, the card deck's very nice, good quality, very calming, I would say. So maybe that's what they're going for, you know, calming. And yeah, very inexpensive. I definitely think it is, however much it is. I think it was $22 US, $30 Canadian. You definitely get a lot of information for this kind of deck. I do think I would have liked pictures or colors, just because I'm that type of person. I just like colors and imagery. I like to, you know, feel some kind of connection there. But again, it's really nice to just see, like, it's also almost like one of those inspiration, like, little decks, but just in a bigger format, and a lot of them. But yeah, let me know what you think. Again, thank you so much to Beyond Words Publishing for sending this to me. I will link all the information where you can get the deck and the creators, all the information down below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you like, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!